Hi, this is Suzette for Cloudy Sky today. Welcome back for a little poetry chat. Now, we've been talking about modern poetry and that it has very few rules because the emphasis is on imagery over the form. So, we don't really need to worry about meter or rhyme. But I find that a little meter or rhyme can elevate your poetry. And today we're going to look at quatrains. Yeah, quatrain just mean 4 lines because we want a bridge that formed from the past, which I don't think is so rigid, with the imagery of today. So, what is a quatrain? And spell it out: Quatrain. Now, a quatrain is a 4 line stanza, often with various rhyme schemes. Again, schemes and screams. I have a trouble with my H and my R's. Pardon me. So Poetry Foundation, they have ABAC, ABCB, you know, AABB, ABAB, but you normally have some kind of scheme. Now, I actually use Wikipedia. I mean, some recommend it, but you know, give you a little bit of a history, and you can always check the resources to verify. They're saying there are 15 possible schemes, but the most traditional and common are the ABAA, the AAAA, ABAB, and ABBA, which I do agree that is true. Here is something interesting. Now, this is study.com. Normally, they're talking about writing poems for kids, but you remember that Humpty Dumpty poem? It's actually a quatrain. Let's take a look at it. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. So you have wall and fall and men and again. So that would be a AABB. One of the resources I like to look at for poetry form is this book, An Introduction to Poetry. I have the 13th edition. You probably can find it in your library. It's by X.J. Kennedy and Dana, and I'm not going to say that last name. I will just spell it Gioia. So one of the things I like about their definition, they do give some examples. They they actually talk about the quatrain as the workhorse of English poetry. Of course, a stanza consisting of 4 lines. We've seen that before, and you can see it in rhymed poetry more often than any other forms because it makes sense. If you're gonna end with the same, AABB or ABAA, it will rhyme. It cannot rhyme. Now, I did write a poem based on one of the artwork I saw at Guild, and from Lana Christoph's Pelican View. And, I have, I would say, 3 quatrains. Now, I don't always rhyme, but you can see I did some near rhymes. I didn't quite exactly rhyme. I tried to, like, the first one is just pretty much A, if you think about it. Style, life, I, time. They kind of got the second one, not really so much. I only have blues and news rhyming. Maybe not, but it just didn't make any sense to use any other word, so I didn't want to say. And I love when creativity explores. I guess I could have done that when creativity is explored versus creativity explores. Then explores would rhyme with browse. I might change that. The last one, breeze, trees, and peace are the closest rhymes. So I would have something like a ABBB. But that's a good thing about quatrain. You can go with the ABAB. The A, but I actually mix it up in this poem. I don't, follow the same format throughout. So this is the closest I got to a quatrain. I hope you enjoy this little session. I mean, I will go over some more forms so that way, you can continue on your writing journey. And I hope you find this very helpful. And if you do, please like and subscribe and let a friend know who also wants to write. Okay, thank you. See you next time.